It's been so nice for about a week. There hasn't been any chemtrails in the sky whatsoever, and I've already decided a long time ago I'm going to video this until this finally gets exposed, because it will get exposed, and then everybody's paradigm is going to completely shift and they'll realize what really is going on, that everything I'm saying is 100% true. You can't really see because of the tree right there, but that goes all the way from over there, all the way from over here, and this is how they start it. You can see the line continues on the other side, right over there. These are not contrails. I know that's about the easiest excuse to come up with, is that these are contrails, but they're not. And also, I'd just like to mention again, I've said this in other videos, there is over $21 trillion that has gone missing in the Pentagon. You can look this up. Catherine Austin Fitts actually found this out, and she's been corroborated. So this is actually true. They don't know where that $21 trillion went. So if you're asking yourself, there's no way that these chemtrails are real, how would they be able to fund a black op like this? I don't know, maybe steal $21 trillion without anyone saying a thing about it. That could be one way. Yeah, this is really how bad it is in America today. I know there's a lot of other issues other than this, but when you can literally steal $21 trillion, and by the way, the whole entire national debt in the US is just barely over 21 trillion. So that just tells you what a mess that we're in. You probably also have noticed, well, if that was true, how come Trump hasn't said anything about it? That's a good question. I guarantee you Trump knows that the $21 trillion that's missing in the Pentagon, he knows about it. So you kind of have to ask yourself, well, that's weird. I would expect him to say something about it. Yeah, well, I'd expect him to say something about geoengineering as well, or chemtrails, but he hasn't. And I find it very highly unlikely that he doesn't know about this. So I'm not saying that everything that Trump does is bad. I think he's the best president by far, comparatively to the last, 4 previous presidents that we've had. So that's good, but boy, that's really not saying much compared to the last 4. So yeah, we really need to do our homework and start understanding what's really going on, and then getting the word out, not being afraid of what other people think. Really doing the research, using our logical minds and going, yeah, this really doesn't make sense. How come there's no lines in the sky whatsoever on multiple days throughout the week, and then all of a sudden the whole entire sky is filled with white lines until it's a white haze from one side to the other? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You can use all kinds of theories to state that this doesn't exist. Maybe the planes are at different altitudes, therefore sometimes the contrails freeze and sometimes they don't. Yes, that's true, but that still wouldn't make sense of why specific days the sky stays blue all day long for multiple days throughout the week, and then days like this you have literally white lines that they literally don't evaporate. They just continue to disperse throughout the sky. So, we can come up with as many excuses as we want. What you really need to do, and which I've done, is really research it. If you really want to know, it's easy to come up with excuses of why this doesn't exist or isn't happening, because we can just go back to our regular lives and pretend like everything's okay, that our government is really focused on freedom and liberty, and I think most people understand now that that's actually not the case. We're in deep, deep trouble, and this is one of the reasons why I do these videos, is though it really breaks through some of those barriers that people have, that everything's just like hunky-dory, that, you know, the American dream's alive and all is well. No, no. Once you get a glimpse of what's really going on, you really understand how messed up it is. And this is, in my personal opinion, one of the best ways to get the word out, to really show, like, it's literally this bad. They're geoengineering the planet. That's how bad it is right now, and not telling anyone. $21 trillion is gone missing in the Pentagon, and no one knows where it went. I can guarantee you that this is where some of that money went, so that it can't be traced, and that they can continue to keep this a secret. Now, I don't have all the answers, obviously, but with the answers I don't have, you just use logic and common sense, okay? You can come up with all kinds of reasons of why, but wait a minute, we don't know everything about this program. We don't know all of the questions, how they need to be answered, and that's true. But that doesn't mean that those lines in the sky aren't there. The fact of the matter is they are chemtrailing. Why specifically they're chemtrailing, we don't specifically know. It is obviously to modify the weather. We know that. Many people have written about that, have talked about that. But you have to actually really go out there and search for it to find it. And they're constantly posting about geoengineering right now, all the time, on all kinds of what looks to be independent news sources. There's these news pages. You'll see them all the time listed about geoengineering and how they have these great plans to protect the planet, and how they're thinking about implementing them, but they haven't implemented them. But see, that's where they lie. They've implemented them. They've been implementing these for a really long time. They're just trying to get the public kind of brainwashed and used to the idea of geoengineering, so that when this does get found out, because people are starting to wake up, they just want it already to be planted into their head. They're very, very subtle in the way that they continue to propagate their propaganda. And this is one way in which they do it today. They always come up with these posts and news stories about, you know, the terrible climate, and the only way to protect it is with geoengineering. Well, part of the problem, a big part of the problem, to be honest with you, is that they're the cause. This is usually the case in government. Most time, they're the cause to the problem, and then they come as saviors and say, well, look at all these problems. We need to save everybody from these problems, when they actually caused the problem to begin with. And that's exactly what geoengineering is for the most part. These chemtrails are causing the problem. So you need to look up HARP. You need to look up geoengineeringwatch.org. That's the best website, pound for pound, to get all the information that you need. If you don't want to look at that website, just don't tell me that I didn't warn you. Yeah, you can continue to ignore the problem if you like. Go to utah.gov and go on the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources, and look up cloud seeding. Of course, they have altered that web page where they talk about cloud seeding. They've now taken off the diagrams where they actually show planes aerosol spraying the sky. Yeah, they've taken off those diagrams because they don't want people to know that they actually aerosol spray for that program, the cloud seeding program in Utah. And by the way, Utah spends millions of dollars to have that done every year, to spray your skies. And guess what? They didn't tell you. So if you think that your state cares about you, I'm sorry, but you're very highly mistaken. They will do things that are shocking without telling you. They don't need your approval anymore, they just do it. So they've hired an outside company from Colorado. You can look this up. It's on the DNR website, unless they've taken that down too, that they've actually hired from Colorado, like I've said, to do their cloud seeding. So they've hired out a private company, the state of Utah, to aerosol spray the skies above your head. That's right, and they pay them millions of dollars. And by the way, that same company from Colorado is now contracted out to the state of California, and you can also look that up just by doing a search under California cloud seeding. Yeah, so now this company does cloud seeding for California and Utah. I don't know, I haven't really looked into it. Excuse me, I haven't looked into it really highly, because I haven't had a whole lot of time, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado and maybe some other states like Arizona are also contracting out this company to aerosol spray their skies. But yeah, it's really really bad, and it's really really serious. And man, sorry, I'm not here to literally just get shock value from you. I am here literally. It's just all about the children. You know, we're probably already in deep deep trouble, but our children. Um, that's why I am a father to my three girls, is because that's my job. I put my life down on the line when it comes to my children and the people that I love. Um, I'm loyal to those who are true and who are innocent, which is actually, unfortunately, most of us. And that's why I put these videos out there, because the innocent are being victimized. So we can stand up. We can make some changes. And I just want you to know, just so you don't think it's too bleak, I've already made a whole lot of changes. People are waking up. I'm getting people asking me questions and wanting to know more every day about what's going on. They're starting to understand something isn't right. And a lot of them just want to talk to someone personally, like, how did you find out? How do I know? How do I get to know more? Also, that I've been talking to my representatives, those also who are running for office. I try to get the message out. I go to these town hall meetings, specifically the governor's race that's coming up here in Utah, and I'm just open about it. I don't care what people think. I go, hey, if you really want to know what's really going on, and you're really serious about running for governor in the state of Utah, here. And I just throw it on them. I said, do you know about the cloud seeding program in Utah? You know what? I haven't had a single representative that's going to be running in the governor's race so far tell me that they knew about this program. And I've had two representatives that I've talked to. One's not actually a representative. He's just a private investor that'll be running for the governor here pretty soon, Birmingham, and he was shocked. And but I have talked to some others that currently are in office and are running for the governorship, and they've also looked it up and are completely shocked. They actually told me, I had no idea this actually existed. And you know what my response is? I know most people don't. When I tell people about this, they think I'm crazy. But guess what? It's true. So look that up. Utah.gov, the DNR, look up cloud seeding. You'll find the truth. Anyways, until next time, I don't want to say breathe deep, because that's normally what I do. It's very sarcastic, but get on your knees and pray, honestly, because it's going to take God to stop what's going on.